touch on some fleet considerations with the 2022 Ford Maverick Hybrid. Hey, obviously very attractive because it comes in just under 20,000. And that's before delivery. But one of the things to keep in mind, right, certainly is going to be, say, battery life and how fleets are to cope with that. And so this was a question I had brought up with Ford concerning the all-electric F-150 Lightning Pro. And so I had asked, okay, following, say, degradation of the battery, where it gets to a point where it's no longer good for powertrain use, what's next for fleets? And Ford is willing to step up and help out with recycling options. So they're not going to leave fleets hanging, okay, by any stretch of the imagination. And there's also second life use cases that are emerging, certainly as lithium-ion batteries, particularly in hybrids that have been out in the market for so long, as they age out, no longer suitable for powertrain use. People are using them for backup power, and they can be used to power up EVs, right? And stationary backup power. So there's options at work. That is an emerging, growing market, the second life use case market. So fleets that do acquire hybrids, potentially they're sitting on something very useful there, okay, and cash worthy once that battery depletes. So you've got to look at, say, the hybrid market as is. And so a lot of folks, once they hit a certain amount of battery degradation, their fuel economy begins to go down. Sometimes they'll just opt for a battery replacement. And so that's something to keep in mind. Now, I had reached out to find out, okay, what's the warranty like with the Maverick hybrid battery pack, which sits under the passenger side of the truck there. And so no word back yet on that. So Ford has, with your other lithium-ion battery packs, given, say, an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty. I suppose we could probably expect the same, with Maverick. And also, interestingly enough, you just have to think ahead, right? Well, Ford has been pursuing solid state. Okay, no question. They've invested in it. It is looking pretty promising. We've seen very solid growth, development. It's something to think about. Okay, once that battery then gets to a point where you want to swap it out, could you put in a solid state battery? I had asked that about the F-150 Lightning Pro. And so the response there was no, that they're not thinking that the truck is going to be built for that purpose, where you could swap out, say, that old lithium ion and put a solid state in place. Okay, so they're not there yet. That was with the F-150 Lightning Pro. With the Maverick, we could probably expect the same approach there. So something to think about, though, again, long term. What are you going to do, right, once the batteries do begin to deplete? They get to that point where your fuel economy is really just starting to tank. So Ford, again, is willing to work with fleets on that front, and we are seeing, like I said, emerging opportunities, both in recycling and also in that second life use case. So just keep your eyes on that, and then we'll continue to report as more information becomes available.